Hello, welcome, and thanks for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Mansing. Top in this newscast. In a few weeks, thousands of voters will be receiving voter cancellation notices. The Board of Elections is currently in the process of compiling registered voters who have not voted in 2 consecutive elections. News 2's Erica Bivens reports.
Any registered voter who has not exercised their right to vote in the past 2 consecutive general elections by law will be canceled.
The cancellations by law, you have to send notice to each individual that they have not participated in the last 2 elections, and as a result thereof, they are going to be canceled.
After notices are sent out, VI Code Title 18 Section 116 states that voters' registration will be canceled at the expiration of 30 days, unless
to come in and update their registration or re-register.
But St. Thomas St. John Elections Board Chair Arturo Watlington says the cancellations come at a cost to the election system since they have to pay for those notices.
It is a cost because you have to personally contact each individual voter. You have to pay for each letter, and I think it has to be certified, each certified letter that you send out. Originally, when I was a senator, you had to publish their names in the paper. So even the cost of just canceling voters has a financial impact on the election system.
Watlington couldn't estimate how much it costs the election system. However, Acting Deputy Supervisor Sharon Benjamin told News 2 thousands of voters are being canceled and that they would have a better idea on that number by the end of the month. By law, cancellation notices are supposed to be sent out within 120 days after the general election, which would have been in March. For News 2, I'm Erica Bivens.
Any voter who believes they were wrongfully sent a notice should contact the election office in their district. Virgin Islands Water and Power Authority crews and Fortress Electric will be installing and terminating new underground high-voltage cables from the intersection of Nora Gata and Belgian Road to the intersection of Dronagans Gata and Stortiva Gata on Friday and Saturday nights, May 3rd and 4th, as part of the downtown Charlotte-Amalie Hazard Mitigation Project. Now on Friday, from this evening, 10 p.m., till 3 a.m. and then on Saturday, electric service will be interrupted in the vicinity of Lovers Lane and Belgian Road from 10 p.m. to Sunday at 3 a.m. Service will be interrupted in the area of Pizza Hut on the waterfront and the Old Franklin building by Market Square. Well, on Thursday, the St. Thomas Coastal Zone Management Committee met and agreed to modify several conditions attached to Coral World's permit for a dolphinarium. In February, the committee approved the permit to construct a $5 million dolphin exhibit in Water Bay and attached 12 special conditions to it. In March, Coral World asked CZM to modify 4 of those conditions. 1 member voted against the modifications. Other permits and a ratification by the VI legislature are still needed. Coral World estimates 25,000 to 35,000 visitors will be drawn to the exhibit each year, with an additional 20 to 25 new jobs at the park. This week, the Department of Tourism concluded a 4-day marketing mission in the greater New York City area led by Governor John P. DeYoung Jr. The delegation engaged with more than 90 editors, contributing writers, travel bloggers, meetings and incentive planners, and business location advisors to promote the U.S. Virgin Islands not only as a leading destination for leisure travelers, but also as a prime business investment location in the Caribbean. On Tuesday, 60 editors and contributing writers from New York's leading newspapers, magazines, and news websites assembled in Midtown Manhattan to get a taste of the U.S. Virgin Islands and learn why their readers should visit St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John this summer. Attendees were greeted with the sights, sounds, and aromas of the U.S. Virgin Islands as Chef Theo Gums prepared seafood kalaloo and fungi. Artisan Judy Bain displayed her Caribbean cultural dolls, and mixologist Al Boston served signature cocktails featuring Crucian Rum's newest flavors and St. John Brewer's one-of-a-kind ales. Dion Parson and the 21st Century Band also performed for the crowd, while dancers in colorful costumes brought the spirit of carnival to the venue. Well, your input is needed for a historical plan to benefit the Garden Street area of St. Thomas. The Enterprise Zone Commission, which is a division of the Virgin Islands Economic Development Authority, is holding week-long meetings. A week-long charrette is scheduled starting this Saturday. to share some of the ideas to improve the area. And here are the dates of the town meetings and topics. 10 a.m. Saturday, the topic is on social issues and housing. Then at 1 p.m., also on Saturday, discussions turn to environmental impacts and infrastructural challenges. Then on Monday, historical and cultural aspects of the town. And Tuesday at 5:30, economic development. Well, if you're at home watching this newscast, the party has already kicked off at 6 in Christiansted, but you still have time to get there before 10. Tonight is Jump Up, and that's where all the stores, restaurants, and bars stay open a little later to serve residents and visitors. In addition to the businesses being open, Jump Up features live entertainment by various bands. There are also steel pan and jazz performances, as well as dancers and mukajumbis. Food vendors also line the streets. It's fun for the whole family. Well, there will be some changes at this year's Ironman 70.3 Triathlon this weekend. Officials say they're stepping up security in light of the recent attacks in Boston. So whether you plan to participate or spectate, you'll want to leave the house a little earlier Sunday. News 2's Erica Parsons has that story.
You know, there are already hundreds of visitors here on St. Croix because of this weekend's Ironman Triathlon. And what officials want the public to know is that they're taking extra measures to make sure everyone remains safe.
Because of the event that transpired in Boston with the Boston Marathon, the National Park Service and the Virgin Islands Police Department are working in conjunction to enhance security measures here at Christiansted National Historic Site.
Local officials aren't taking any chances. More than 500 athletes are registered for the Ironman 70.3, and everyone attending Sunday's race will be checked out.
We've set up basically two screening, one for the athletes and volunteer, that's part of the event, and the other is for the general public.
Sports Stats is a timing company that officiates more than 600 events annually. A team from the company was in Boston during April's attack at the marathon. They say the bombing hasn't been a deterrent for them, nor has it been for the race community.
We did send a crew there, so when the bombing happened, our crew was on the way back. So everything was fine for us, and we knew a couple people in the finish line area. All the people we knew they're okay. That event just brought the running community a lot closer. There was a spike in registration right after, like the day after, people went and registered. It didn't stop them at all.
Local organizers aren't worried either.
I'm not worried in the slightest. I think, frankly, I think the Boston thing was a one-off thing. I don't think, I don't think it will affect any other race, especially not this one. So, but we are prepared, absolutely.
Park officials say the public should know that all bags are subject to search, and also to keep people safe.
We're only going to allow clear plastic bottles. That's part of our procedures. What we're hoping to achieve is a safe event both for the spectators and for the athletes.
It doesn't stop athletes. It doesn't stop us from coming to events. It's great for the community, for the athletes, for everybody.
As you can see by the hundreds of people here, those are the hundreds of athletes, and there are that number again in family members, and this is a shot in the arm that St. Croix really needs economically.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Now, park officials are asking for the public's cooperation and patience during the triathlon. Again, there will be screening checkpoints for everyone. Bags are subject to search, and only clear plastic bottles will be allowed at the event. We'll have more on the triathlon later on in sports. Meanwhile, the body of marathon bombing suspect Tamerlan Tsarnaev has been claimed. There was a protest outside the funeral home where his body was taken. The funeral home's director says the remains have now been moved elsewhere. And there's word this morning of a chilling confession. Elaine Keano is in Boston. And the economy. Economists say the jobs report show that the job market is improving despite tax increases and government spending cuts. Strong earnings from Kraft Foods and the American International Group are also helping to send stocks to record highs. But shares of LinkedIn are lower after the online networking site forecasts second quarter sales that missed analysts' predictions. This is the New York Stock Exchange with Scotiabank's Stock Market Watch. The Dow, Nasdaq, S&P all up. The Dow 142, Nasdaq 38, S&P 16. Coming up on News 2, Sunday is May 5th. Racing Chihuahuas will be one of the many things to check out at Yacht Haven Grand for the 10th annual Cinco de Mayo Chihuahua races. Plus, winners of the 13D will receive money to support their business concepts. The annual contest was taking place at UVI. The goal is to provide opportunities for VI students to launch new businesses and social ventures. We'll have the winners coming up. Well, the final round of the 13D Student Entrepreneurship Competition was held today at the University of the Virgin Islands St. Thomas campus. A new group of entrepreneurs at the University of the Virgin Islands were vying for approximately $80,000 in business seed funding, cash, and in-kind services. Today's event was the final stage of that competition, which began last fall. 8 teams whittled down from an initial 109 students in 15 teams. They made their final presentations to a panel of judges, and here are the winners. The first place winner is Kailayar Mint and Dwayne Sidney with the DK Shrimp Farm. They received $30,000 to help fund the business idea. Second place $20,000 winner is Sharon Siebert with Taluard Paddle Sail, and third place winner, $10,000 winner, is Macy Miles Jazz. A broad additional support in marketing, legal services, printing, web design, and more will also be made available to the winning teams. A highlight of this year's final round was the presentation of awards to the top 3 teams in the first ever 13D Student High School competition for members of the top 3 high school teams. Each team member also received an iPad, mini tablet, and engraved first place trophy will also be placed in the winning team's school. Racing Chihuahuas will be one of the many things to check out Sunday at Yacht Haven Grand for the 10th annual Cinco de Mayo Chihuahua Races. The event is sponsored by Rotary East and will also include a taco and jalapeno eating contest, live music, prize giveaways, and much more. Dogs under 20 pounds can enter the race for $10. Registration takes place at How About Your Pet, and the festivities kick off at 4:30 p.m. The official launch of the WYCA USVI In Her Shoes exhibit against domestic violence and free members appreciation breakfast is taking place this Saturday at 9:30 p.m. at the St. Andrews Parish Hall, First Avenue Sugar Estate. The exhibit is all about stories and messages sharing the pain of violence. In collaboration with the Family Resource Center and Sister to Sister Network, the thought-provoking and heart-wrenching exhibit showcases messages and stories about gender-based violence as told by the victims themselves. The pairs of shoes, all colors and sizes, are strategically positioned to depict each woman's experience. The walk in her shoes symbolizing solidarity with the many girls and women who WYCA USVI is a fully affiliated member of World YWCA. The Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office said an autopsy will be performed Thursday to determine the cause of death for Christopher McDaddy Kelly. At the age of 34, Kelly gained fame in the 1990s as half of the rap duo Criss Cross. An investigator with the Fulton County Medical Examiner's Office said Kelly was found unresponsive in his southwest Atlanta home around 4:30 p.m. Wednesday. Tony McNary reports.
On Wednesday, Kelly died in his South Fulton County home.
It tore my family up, you know. It's a bittersweet situation. But I have the type of family, we know Chris is gone. We know Chris had problems, but we're fighters.
Robert Barber is Kelly's uncle.
Him and I have a special relationship because we both suffer from the same disease.
Barber says that disease is addiction. Officers who responded to the 911 call to Kelly's home wrote in the report that Donna Kelly Pratt, Chris Kelly's mother, told them he was out the night before and had taken a mixture of heroin and cocaine. She told them she brought Kelly home to recover from his drug use and that she had done this several times in the past.
And we're going to make sure everybody knows about the disease of addiction.
Barber knows firsthand what it's like to have an addiction. He says he's been clean now for over 20 years.
I'm an officer in the military and a college grad, and I found myself homeless from alcohol and drugs.
His addictions prompted him to start the Atlanta Set-Up Society to help men like him.
Chris, I have to be honest, he has came in and out of our program. All right, he has worked there.
Barber says it's important for people to understand the mental and physical aspects of fighting an addiction. His family will use Kelly's untimely death to help others.
Every family, I don't care whose family it is on the planet now, has someone in that family that's suffering from addiction.
Well, this weekend is the last comedy show of the season. Spanky Brown is headlining and Ken Miller is the feature. Spanky Brown is a frequent guest on national syndicated shows like the Tom Joyner Morning Show and the Bob and Tom radio show. Spanky has toured the world sharing his unique perspective on opinions on everything. Now, Ken Miller was the 2009 Comedy Central South Beach Comedy Festival winner, beating out 88 other comics. He finished second in the Florida's Funniest Comedian Contest, beating out over 180 comics. Now, that's tonight at 9 p.m. If you miss out tonight, you can catch the 7 or 9 p.m. show on Saturday. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.